Shreeja. Enjoy the show.
أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن
My very first language was handed down to me by my parents. Until I went to school, it was my main language, and I felt comfortable in it. My first encounter with English was traumatizing. It was hard for me to express myself in a language that seemed to me foreign. I just wanted to go home, to the language in which I was known and loved. A few years later, however, my mother tongue took a step backwards. In a certain sense, it died. The part of me that spoke English, that went to school, that read and wrote, became another person. Yet I couldn't identify with either language. One was always concealed behind the other, but never completely, just as the full moon can hide almost all night behind a mass of clouds and then suddenly emerge, dazzling. I realized that I had to speak both languages extremely well, one to please my parents, the other to survive in America. I remained suspended, torn between the two. These two languages of mine were incompatible adversaries, intolerant of each other, with nothing in common except for me. I was ashamed of speaking one language, and at the same time, I was ashamed of feeling ashamed. I joust between these two languages as I discover who I am and who I'm meant to be. Where is this new path of discovery leading me? Where does the flight end and when? After fleeing, what will I do? Although I'm fleeing, I realize that both languages are beside me. Just as in a triangle, one point inevitably leads to another.
साहिबान कदरदान मेहरबान दिल थाम के बैठिए क्योंकि अब आपके सामने तशरीफ ला रही है आगरा की अजीम फनकारा मलिका हुस्न नूर नजर मोहतरमा मोहिनी
Being South Asian and being Muslim, because both of those are really intertwined in both my life and my name. For those of you who don't know, I'm Mohammed Mo. And so with that reason, in the current geopolitical climate, it's a big deal, and especially in colleges right now. And for that reason, it's up in the forefront of everything that I see in my salient identities. With that being said, it affects how things go in college, but I'm lucky to go to a college which is open-minded for the most part, and it provides safe and brave spaces for those individuals who need them and like them.
I would say positively because it made me more confident in being who I am and being a Bengali Muslim American. I had these 4 years of just growing with Saya, growing with the members, sharing experiences, recounting like different things that we've had to do for, like, with our parents and like other situations like that. It just made me much more confident in myself, and telling people about who I am, where I come from, what I love and what I don't love.
Well, it makes you very different. No one at Villanova really knows where Bangladesh is. They know what India is, but only vaguely. There are some people that have never met a Muslim before, and I'm Muslim. And it's a Catholic university, so it's always scary to tell people that you're Muslim because you don't know how they're going to react.
I'm in a Bollywood fusion dance team, so I have gotten involved, but there are a lot of clubs that I haven't joined, like Bengali Student Association, Mecca, which is like a Muslim awareness club, and I feel like I haven't gotten involved in those because I don't want to limit myself in terms of people that I interact with.
When I got to college, the first thing I did was look for a South Asian organization, and an alumni of Hunter, he is the captain of a dance team there, and he told me, hey, join. And so now I'm on a competitive dance team it does Bollywood fusion, and it was one of the best ideas I ever had. Literally, I don't think they could find Bangladesh on a map. So anyone with brown skin, doesn't matter where you're from, you're Indian.
At Hunter, we have Saya, which tries to encompass all South Asians and the differences in their culture, whereas from my experience at NYU, every single group is given their own club and own platform to kind of showcase their own. So it's just done differently. It's not that I would say one is better or less.
I don't think they're recognized at either school. Like Hunter, no one really knew or cared. We were just all kind of lumped together as Brown or part of Saya, and it's pretty much the same thing at UChicago. No one really cares if you're from Pakistan or India. There's no tension, there's no arguing over Kashmir or anything of the sort. I think as the generations progress, there's just less and less care about those issues. It's more just like we're banding together, and that's really it, just helping each other survive. Especially at UChicago, that place is awesome. Don't go there.
Yes.
No. I don't have any anecdotes for you, but literally, like, no.
All the South Asian students, we band together because we're all friends with each other. All my friends are South Asian. I have like 2 white friends.
I don't really see a divide because when you get into college, people want to be more open. They don't want to create those lines between other South Asian groups, no matter what. They like feel that no matter, even if you're like the difference between like Indian and Pakistani and Bengali, like they all come from similar experiences, so they want to like grasp onto that. So they try not to separate from each other. Sorry, that sounded weird. You gonna put that in the video? I'll put that in the video. I'll make it seem weird. No, don't put it in the video, man. I was president before. I'm gonna be like, oh, Mushi got dumb in college. It's not that I wasn't dumb before. I don't want to get dumber. I want to progress a little bit. A little bit, you know. Shrita, what's the next question?
Kiare, majestic quality the share kudi tu hai fantastic kuch diye call mainu lagdi attractive so seductive ek tera hasa pine da smile pata chale gaya कि तू बन गई है mine तू तेरा जिया तू wine and dine you need to exclusive Jimmy मेरा style and jami le तू fast in a place no more तू करे मैनू प्यार मैं keep it on the low मैं एक तेरे ख्याल में तू करे कि you murder on the dance floor तू मेरी imaginary girl ये तेरा मन की ना हो रे I wanna see you in the morning tell me how breakfast down in the kitchen hey मेरी imaginary girl ये तेरा मन की ना हो रे I wanna see you in the morning tell me how breakfast down in the kitchen hey कभी मेरे mind च कभी मेरे zen च ले जावी ये तेरा दूर private plane च nice माहौल च cruise control च तू बड़ी सोहनी लगे LV दी jeans च लगदी वे India mix with Brazilian top class elegant one Brazilian कुड़ी तू right I can turn on the lights back पहुंचा बिना मैनू कितने heavy jet like I fly sky high mind मेरा sum कर गई दिल साडा same साला boom boom मुंडा में दी है get the off on guard Chamina मैं करा small करा कम large they wanna make it rain well I can make it snow so now they मैनू beat and I will make it flow मैं मैनू तेरी need है तब तेनू मेरी lord the body need to enter Imran Khan's world imaginary girl ये तेरा मन की ना हो रे I wanna see you in the morning tell me how breakfast down in the kitchen hey मेरी imaginary girl ये तेरा मन की ना हो रे I wanna see you in the morning tell me how breakfast down in the kitchen hey
It's the dream.
Hey, put on the real song. Jesus.
Hey, come on in. Take off your shoes. Everyone's already here. You're a little late. We were waiting for you though.
Wait, isn't class not supposed to be there because you didn't see?
Oh, hey! Put your napkins on your laps. Okay.
Wait, I don't do that. Open it up.
Wait, why am I the only one getting food?
Does anyone want to split the popcorn? Mom, can you pass me this samosas?
Oh, sorry.
I love samosas as like appetizers because they're like bite-sized.
Those are like my main meal though. Like I just like OD on samosas.
Whenever my parents have a really big Diwali party, we always have like someone walking around with samosas because they're really easy to eat, like finger food.
Wait, I just like
is this halal?
Yeah, the chicken's halal.
What does halal mean?
Well, it's like, so in Islam we can only eat meat that like before the meat is before like the chicken or whatever is killed, they have to say like a prayer, and then if they don't say a prayer, then it's not halal, then we can't eat it. So we can only eat food that they've been like blessed. So.
That's cool.
So
Bro, we can never eat pork, no matter what. We hate pigs.
Nice.
Wait, guys, is this chicken or beef?
Where? What is that?
The biryani?
It's chicken.
Okay. Because I can't eat beef. Except like when I went to school before Hunter, they'd serve beef at like school lunches. So I would have to have beef, and like they didn't have any other options. Like I would. Yeah.
Why can't you eat beef?
Because since I'm Hindu, cows are sacred.
Oh.
And like I guess it depends on how religious you are. Because like I've had beef before, and like that's not a problem with me. But my mom gets like a little.
Yeah, my parents are Hindu too, and like I'm technically supposed to be Hindu, but I don't really believe in God, so I don't practice any religion. I mean, there's days during the year where we'll pray a little bit on like Diwali or special occasions, but I don't really believe in it.
Do your parents know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's sometimes like a difficult thing to talk about, especially because for them growing up in India, they're immigrants. It's like your religion is such an integral part of your life. You pray before every meal, and you have like a little temple or like a little room dedicated in your house to having statues of gods and praying there. And so I can't even tell my grandparents that I don't believe in it because for them that would just be a little bit too much. But I guess moving here changed a lot of that for me because a lot of my friends aren't religious, so I don't feel the need to be that.
Like all the myths are pretty crazy. Like they're kind of unbelievable. Like it's like the one about the world, how it was made. It's just some big turtle, and he took like this big cup of milk and like spun it around and whatever.
Yeah.
And the Earth straight just came out of the milk out of nowhere, and that's how like we were all made. Like I don't get how you're supposed to believe that.
Exactly.
For a lot of South Asian Americans with like immigrant parents, religion is more of just like a part of their cultural identity more so than like their actual beliefs. Like they won't necessarily like break ties for it just because of the belief part. It's more just like it's integral to like being South Asian.
I feel like I'm too young to like have any opinions about religion and about like whether I believe in God, but like it's just easier to believe in it. I just kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also very hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Some religions.
Wait,
Why
you
you
guys also dressed up?
You don't dress up when you meet your South Asian friends.
I mean,
This is a dinner party.
bruh.
I mean, for me, it's more just like when we do have dinner parties with all like my South Asian friends, we go and we dress up, but it's not like we don't really dress up in like cultural clothing. The only time that really happens is during Eid, which is like a Islamic holiday. But other than that, I don't really wear South Asian clothes. But
That's interesting. For me, like, a big part of my South Asian identity is dressing up because I don't really get to feel, I think until high school when I joined Saya, I never really had opportunities where I felt like super South Asian because in elementary school I was the one South Asian kid in a class of 50. So the times during the year when I would dress up or get to meet with other South Asian people or people in my family and family friends, I would dress up because that was me owning my South Asian heritage.
Yeah. I actually do like dressing up because like as a kid I used to like pretend I was like a Bollywood actor, like Shah Rukh Khan or something. But yeah, I came prepared.
You did?
Yeah.
Where you going, Dad?
कुछ तो हुआ है कुछ हो गया है
चमक चलो
चमक चमक चलो कैसा शर्माना आजा नच के दिखाए अरे ओरे आजा भाई दादी आए अरे यकी मिलाए अपना नकेरी का चमक चलो चमक चलो पीछे पीछे तेरे झक मार के अपना तू रखना तू मेरे दिल का छोटा मोटा हक मार के गलती की कभी पीछे पीछे तेरे झक मार के तुझ पे ना एतबार मुझे फिका लगे तेरा प्यार मुझे मैं ना बनाऊं दिलदार तुझे सारे सपने थे झूठे अब तक डर के दिल जाने रब जाने कदर पे मैं तेरे अब दिल हार के गलती की कभी पीछे पीछे तेरे झक मार के
So, do you guys speak Indian or something?
Ki buka eta. Chale kisu bujna.
What the foul?
That works.
No.
Guys, I just don't understand what any of you are saying.
Yeah.
This is America.
Well,
Wait.
Indian's not really a language. There are different languages within South Asia.
Yeah, also
Like-
India's not the only country in South Asia. Not all of us are from South Asia.
And
I mean,
even-
from India.
Yeah. And even within India, there are different languages. So like, and even within that, there are complications. Like I'm Indian, but I speak Bengali, and Mahi's Bangladeshi, but he speaks Bengali.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like different regions of India have like different
Like-
main languages.
Like my parents are from two different parts of India. My mom's from Mumbai, so that's Maharashtra, and she speaks Marathi. And then my dad's from Gujarat, which is another part of India that's actually where the current prime minister is from.
And where Kush Patel is from.
Yeah. And so he speaks Gujarati at home, but then they both went to schools that taught them Hindi when they were going to elementary school. So they speak all three languages, and then after they got married, they had to learn each other's languages. So it's a lot of complication.
Yeah, I'm from Sri Lanka and my parents speak Tamil. And for the longest time, like my mom would try and send me to Tamil school to like try and like learn the language. But even though I can speak it pretty well, I'm like basically illiterate, and that's like always a point of shame for her because whenever I go to see my relatives, like I can't really read or write anything for them.
Yeah, same for me. I can speak Bengali. I can understand it, but when it comes to reading and writing, it's just gibberish to me. I can't really.
I think for like Bangladeshi people, language is pretty important because the country is basically founded after a war, which happened because they wanted Bengali to be the national language, but Pakistan wanted Urdu to be the national language. So that war happened, and now we're two separate countries completely, just over the language itself. So yeah.
For my entire life, my dad's been a cab driver, and obviously that's not a particularly hard job to obtain. So, I mean, I knew he was a good student when he was younger in Bangladesh, so I'd always ask him when I was younger, like, what would you have been if you hadn't moved to America? Like, what would you want it to be? And I always expect the answer to be something like a lawyer or a politician or like a doctor, something prestigious. But his answer surprised me. He said he would have wanted to become a soldier because when he was younger, there was a war going on between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And he wanted to be like one of those brave men. So he would have given his life up for his country. Instead, he gave it up for me.
Also, language is also important in terms of like, my parents, I mean, I'm completely against having an arranged marriage, even though my parents always push for it for me. But like, language is very important in that like, they don't want to have any language barrier between like my family and like my partner's family in the future.
Yeah, like my parents always say, like they haven't like posed any restrictions, like it has to be an Indian guy from this like caste or whatever, but like my mom always does say that it's just easier if he is, like it is easier. I would agree that like customs like match up and like the wedding itself and like religion. Yeah.
And even though my parents have like a really strict expectation of what my future spouse should be like it has to be a female, Bangladeshi, Muslim, speaks Bengali. I think it's still important to me, and to some degree, not only do I like understand where they're coming from, I kind of also want the same thing, because like I still want to grow up like I still want to raise my children having like with like the same level of, I don't know, like same level of
connection to their culture.
Yeah. Like I still want them to not be like, I guess this wouldn't be like the most appropriate term, but like I guess whitewash.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want them to like value the same like culture that I did, and I don't want them to like lose that and forget it. So I think having someone who has the same background as me would really help in terms of raising kids.
Mission accomplished, Dad.
I remember like recently I watched that movie Meet the Patels, and the whole movie talks, or it's like a documentary or whatever it is, it's like all talking about this Patel who's like a little too old already, like he should already be married, he's in his 30s I guess, and he just broke up with his girlfriend, and then his parents are like, we'll get you an arranged marriage, like we'll have you meet all these Patel girls, and like I'm a Patel, so I know that like a lot of my aunts and uncles also married Patels, so they kept the name, and like that's a really big part of being a Patel. Like Patels are loud, and they all like have a big sense of family and community. And I remember this past holiday break in December, I went to India to visit my grandparents, and I told them that I was going to Semi with a Patel, and they were all really, really hype about it, but then they found out that I have a white boyfriend, so it's this like duality. I mean, I understand what you're saying about accepting potentially having an arranged marriage, or like meeting and ending up marrying someone that's very similar to you with like culture and the religion and language, but at the same time I think so much of I really define myself as Indian American because I see the ways that I'm whitewashed, and like in the way that I speak, like I can't even speak any Indian language fluently, so
yeah, like I acknowledge the influence that growing up here has had on me, but at the same time, like I want to preserve what I have.
If Saya didn't exist, like I don't know what I would do, because like as I go home, I like get into my car that will most likely be watching Bollywood tunes, and then like speak to my parents in Bengali, and then like have this whole like different side of me that like my friends wouldn't know. And like the only reason my friends know so much about me is because of Saya, and like because of this film I'm doing, because of like the clothes I'm wearing. Like this is the only way they can see that, and this is the only way I can like straddle the line between like being Indian and being American, what it means to be Indian American for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, sometimes going to Hunter, like sometimes wish I went to like a school, I guess with like a larger South Asian population.
Like Townsend Harris.
Yeah, like Townsend Harris, or like Sky, Grom Science. Cause like, I'm actually the only Bengali kid in my entire grade. Like, I grew up in like a building where like all my friends also happened to be like from the same background as me, like Bangladeshi with immigrant parents. And I guess like coming to Hunter was like, I guess like a very significant culture shock in that sense. That like I was for the first time in my life like the only Bengali person that I knew of.
Yeah.
And I was for a long time.
I mean, it's kind of different for me. That's kind of how I've felt like for my entire life because I live in New York City and I'm a Sri Lankan Tamil and there just aren't any Sri Lankans in New York City. And so I've always kind of felt like isolated from everyone because my family speaks like different languages. And I would even feel isolated from my friends who are South Asian because like they all spoke like Hindi and they all like watched Bollywood movies while I was here like watching like Tamil Bollywood or like and like speaking Tamil. And it was like I've always kind of felt separated from like the rest of my South Asian friends because of that. Sometimes I feel really awkward in Saya because I'm the only Sri Lankan and my experiences don't really line up with others in the club. Like for example, I speak Tamil while most South Asians in the club speak like Hindi or Bengali. Another thing is I'm not really exposed to like a lot of Bollywood movies that other people have watched because I watch like Tamil Bollywood, which is like something that not a lot of people have experience with. And it makes me feel kind of like less validated in my South Asian identity because I don't really have a community with which I can relate my experiences to. But at the same time, like I know that I am South Asian. I know that like India is not the only country in South Asia, and I feel like it's really important that as a club we like raise more awareness about like how diverse South Asia is and like how many different experiences there are. Like I experience things as a Tamil that people from Pakistan or people from Bangladesh will never experience, and the same goes the other way around. And I feel like that's just something we as a club should celebrate and also educate each other on.
This year, we wanted to showcase the diversity of South Asians and the South Asian diaspora.
Though we may differ in language, religion, or region, we are all South Asians. While Hunter's own South Asian community represents a small slice of the immense diversity of South Asians in a larger global context,
we still have members who identify with a variety of the many groups that make up South Asia.
For each of us, our South Asian identity manifests itself in different ways and to different degrees in our lives.
These differences may be subtle, but the stories of each of our club members represent a fraction of the diverse South Asian experiences that exist outside of Hunter and even on the college campuses that our alumni now call home.
As we end the show, we ask you to consider the extent of the diversity that exists within the larger South Asian community.
We are Saya.